Hello, everyone. This is Warhawk Beyond 2040, and welcome to another edition of the Batwoman Season 2 review series. And today I am going to be talking about episode 12, Initiate Self Destruct, which I have just finished watching. And this episode was really good. I really enjoyed this one a lot. I thought this episode was very well told, very well done, and we got to see a lot of interesting twists and turns, and we even got treated to a very reluctant alliance between Batwoman and Alice. Now, the reason why I use the word reluctant is because Alice, as we all know, had a hand in Ryan Wilder's mum being murdered, as we saw in the flashbacks at the beginning of season 2. So to see the two of them working together was interesting to say the very least, and I kept wondering throughout the course of the episode whether or not Ryan Wilder was actually going to knock out Alice. And Rachel Scarsden, as always, was fantastic as Alice. And I've gone on record many times saying that Rachel Scarsden is the main reason why I watch Batwoman. She's excellent as Alice, and the way she's able to switch from kooky to wacky to downright evil. It's just an absolute thrill to watch. And this episode pretty much picked up where we left off at the end of episode 11, where we saw Sophie learn the secret identity of Batwoman. So she apparently knows that Batwoman is Ryan Wilder, and we've seen over the course of this episode she's on a mission with the help of Luke and Mary, trying to stop her file and DNA samples being uploaded onto the police's computer systems, which would rat her out that Batwoman is Ryan Wilder to all of Gotham City. So overall, this episode was really good, and we learn a little bit more what happened to Kate Kane, and we see her undergo a transformation of sorts. So Kate Kane is kind of a villain, so to speak, and she's working with Black Mask, although she is corrupted. So that was cool to see. And we learn in this episode that Kate Kane is severely disfigured, and she's wearing a mask very similar to what Black Mask wears. And I thought that side of the episode was really good. So overall, this episode was very good, and I enjoyed this one a lot. And I probably would say this episode was one of the best of season 2 so far. So with that all said, let's get right into it. Let's talk about episode 12, Initiate Self Destruct. So this episode starts off with Black Mask talking to Enigma and Kate Kane, who we see is still heavily bandaged up due to her plane being crashed. And Black Mask places a replica made of the face of his daughter onto Kate's face, and Enigma triggers her into forgetting all of her memories. Kate then becomes Roman's daughter, Circus Cynosis, which to me looked very, very weird and very, very creepy. And Kate's mask that she wears in this episode reminded me a lot of the horror movie Phantom of the Opera, and I thought that side of the episode was good. And this episode kind of embraced some aspects of horror, maybe not to the degree of some episodes we saw back in season 1, but there were some moments were a bit horror-esque. So we see Alice tries to sneak out after a night of hooking up with Ocean, but members of the False Face Society show up and knock them both out and kidnap Ocean in the process. Sophie further investigates whether or not Ryan Wilder is really Batwoman and butts heads with Agent Tavanoff. She then gets into an argument with Jacob Kane about the Crows trying to test and identify a sample of Batwoman's DNA. Sophie turns on the bat signal and meets with Batwoman, who is more focused on finding Angelic. Luke and Mary become worried about Batwoman's identity being unveiled to the whole world, but Ryan decides to scout out Angelic's location first. We then see Luke yell at Ryan, reminding her that you've got to make a choice, either save Angelic or the legacy of Batwoman. Batwoman obviously decides she goes after Angelic instead. She finds Alice torturing the false-face society members in Ocean's apartment, and they each reveal why they're looking for Angelic and Ocean. The two of them reluctantly agree to team up and drive in the Batmobile to the location Alice believes both Angelic and Ocean are being held captive. Now, this was an interesting twist because, ever since this season started, Ryan Wilder has been on this one person crusade to take down Alice once and for all, which is one of the main reasons why she put on the Batwoman suit in the first place. So to now see her and Alice working together, it's just weird, but at the same time, it made for really good TV. Angelic and Ocean are both being held at gunpoint to make snake bites, and Alice and Batwoman begin to fight off all of the goons. Batwoman realizes that Alice is in love with Ocean, which only makes the mission a bit more personal for her. After they talk more about their personal missions, Batwoman handcuffs Alice in place and goes into the warehouse alone. We then see Kate as Serkay stops by Alice and holds her at knife point, asking for Batwoman's location. One of the false face shoots Ocean down, but Batwoman shows up and saves them both, only for Kate to arrive, and the two of them begin to fight. Now, this was a real treat. Seeing the former Batwoman, completely corrupted and under Black Mask's control, going at it with the new Batwoman, Ryan Wilder. This was a real treat, and I didn't think we was going to see it in this episode. I didn't think we was ever going to see these two interact or fight each other. I thought maybe they might have saved something like that for the season finale, but aside from all that, this was a really good fight scene, and I'm hoping it's not the last time we see these two go at it, because it really shows you how evenly matched. Obviously, Kate Kane has had a little bit more experience in fighting, but just watching these two go at it was a real treat. Alice shows up and fights alongside Batwoman. Yeah, there's something you don't see often, ending with Serkay holding Alice in a chokehold. Alice tries to appeal to Batwoman, revealing that she does remember murdering her mum, and Ryan, in a very out of Bat character moment, says that not everyone can be saved, and she just walks away, leaving Alice at the mercy of Kate Kane. Now, that was a very dark moment because, the thing with Batman, for example, no matter how despicable a villain is, Batman always tries to save everyone. And to have Ryan just leave Alice like that was a very dark moment and very out of character as well. Sophie later visits the Crow's DNA lab to try to destroy the DNA sample, but doesn't have any luck. Mary goes to the Crow's headquarters and sneaks into a device that can help Sophie destroy the DNA profile. From Jacob's computer, Sophie discovers that the Crows have the profiles listed anonymously, and she initially doubts whether destroying all of those profiles would be worth protecting Batwoman. But she does it anyway. Sophie later discovers the snake bites hiding in Jacob's desk. Mary brings Jacob to her new and improved clinic, but he begins to point out flaws in her setup. She doesn't care anyway, since it's just a distraction while Sophie scrubs the DNA profile from the system. Sophie later visits Mary at the clinic and tells her about the snake bite and that she should have a word with her dad about whether he's taking it or not. Angelic visits Ryan and asks her to go into witness protection with her, but she refuses and they both part ways. Alice wakes up helpless in Cynos' mansion with Serkay by his side. He almost has Serkay kill Alice, but decides he has another purpose for her instead, and that leads to Serkay knocking out Alice, and that pretty much ends episode 12 and my review. Overall, excellent episode. Really enjoyed this one a lot. Bit dark in some moments, couple of maybe horror-esque moments as well, but overall I thought this was a really good episode, and I'm really enjoying this season a lot, and this was probably one of the best episodes that I enjoyed the most. And it's going to be very interesting to see what's going to happen in the next couple of episodes regarding this whole Kate Kane story arc and how they're going to pay it off. But I thought this was good, and I'm just wondering whether or not Sophie will actually end up joining Luke and Mary in helping Batwoman, because she's been there since the show started, and it would be kind of nice to have her officially in on the secret and actually have a big part in helping these guys out. But time will tell, really. But overall, great episode, and I'm really looking forward to the next one. So I'm going to wrap this up now. What did you think of episode 12? Did you enjoy it? What were your thoughts on Kate and Ryan going at it? Do you think it could be the last time we see these two fight each other, or do you think that was just a one off? Also, what's your thoughts on Kate Kane being corrupted by Black Mask into thinking she is his daughter? How long do you think the effects would last? And also, do you think Alice will learn that the woman behind the mask is actually Kate Kane, or do you think she could end up joining them on Black Mask's side? You know what to do, guys. Hit the like button, hit the subscribe button, leave your thoughts and comments down below, and I will be back next time for another edition of the Batwoman Season 2 review series, where I'll be talking about episode 13, which I am very much looking forward to talking about. So until next time, take care, everybody, and stay safe. And once again, thanks for listening.